There was an electrical short circuit, so we had to replace the device. The device itself malfunctioned, not that I got an electric shock. Mindfulness practice is a delicate job. Unlike soil pruning, where you can physically assert your strength and get the job done quickly, mindfulness practice is delicate and needs patience. We proceed step by step. But this is not to say that you can be lazy. You must practice every day, and ideally all day long. If you practice periodically, you won't have enough power to fight against defilements. They grow fast and mutate in no time. You might be able to fight against a defilement that you know, but then it camouflages and you don't recognize it. There is a small airplane flying around this area today. It's all right as long as it doesn't fly down here. One has already landed in Bang Prokong. You see, when I mentioned the airplane, you began to hear its sound. Previously, you didn't hear it. Right? It has made some sounds for a while now, since you didn't pay attention. It's like it didn't exist. You didn't hear it. The mind can be aware of one phenomenon at a time. When it's paying attention to hearing what I'm speaking, it won't hear the sound outside. But once I mentioned it, the ears started to wander. They say it's called seeking trouble. Your ears keep flitting around, trying to catch the sound of the small airplane, the kind that only seats 1 or 2 people. The process of birth is simple, and death is simple. Birth is more difficult, though, as it depends on certain conditions. However, as long as we still have defilements, birth will continue to occur. On the other hand, death occurs so easily, instantly. We don't know when we will die. Before then, take this moment to do things we should, so that we won't regret the time we had. In this age, we still have a wonderful chance, called the golden opportunity in the round of rebirth. We were born in the age where Buddhism exists. If we were born in the age where Buddhism doesn't exist, we would feel lost and couldn't find the direction. Even those who have upheld the precepts and don't commit bad deeds would still feel lost and have nothing to hold on to, so they'll just follow what others do. Using animal instinct. Animals themselves imitate other animals. For example, mother birds teach their offspring how to fly and feed themselves. Sometimes father birds also assist, like some species which take good care of one another. When young birds learn how to fly, the whole flock will be there to assist. Some young birds can fly, while some don't. Those which can't fly would die. Those which can fly will begin to learn how to feed themselves. As soon as they can feed themselves, their parents will abandon them. Similarly, humans who don't know dharma would live their lives like animals. Their parents teach them how to earn a living and how to take care of themselves. However, their life directions and goals are unclear. We go to school the same way others do. We work the same way others do. We get married the same way others do. We have kids the same way others do. We want to have a big house like others. Today people have a working fashion, even those who work in factories. They aim at buying a pickup car of finance within 2 to 3 years of their career. Those who can't will be deemed losers. Unguided by dharma. Life is instead directed by following others. Just like a flock of animals living their lives the same way as their fellows. For example, birds follow wherever their leaders head to. Without dharma, humans are not so different from animals. However, humans have an advantage when they hear dharma. They have a chance to improve themselves, while animals are not as lucky. The most that they can do is to have concentration, but they can't cultivate wisdom because they lack mindfulness. Some animals like hearing monks recite prayers because it makes them happy. Concentration is what they can gain from. However, there are very few animals which are mindful. But if you ask whether there are any, yes, there are. I used to pick up a dog from Chulalongkorn University. She was a Thai Ridgeback dog, which in her past life probably was a human who had upheld the 5 precepts very well. But some bad deeds led her to be born as a dog. This dog upheld the 5 precepts. She never bit other animals. Not only that, she did not bite a kitten wandering in my house. When a hungry dog or cat came in, if she had her food, she would let them eat it. She knew how to give alms. The dog upheld the precepts. She never hurt other animals, nor barked without a good reason, while other dogs bark on and on. This dog never drank, because I never gave her any. But whether she committed adultery or not was unknown, because I didn't keep her with me all the time. This dog upheld the precepts, not because she was taught so, but because she had cultivated them in the past. When she was dying because of sickness, her eyes were clear. She was lying while observing her body breath, and died so beautifully. Most people can't even do the same. Why did this dog attain a good rebirth when it was mindful at death? The reason is, as long as she was mindful, she would go to a good place. She was calm, aware of her body and mind. Her eyes are clear. You know when you saw her eyes, which were her heart's window, that her mind was calm. She achieved that because she used to practice mindfulness before. For us who have practiced, if we ever fall into unpleasant realms, we will be able to recover quickly. instead of being born as a dog 500 times. For example, you'll be a dog only once and come back to a pleasant realm right after. There was a man. I won't tell you who it was. He was on a bus heading to Chiang Rai. Before dawn, the bus passed a forest in the north. He saw a very beautiful hungry ghost. In the form of a monk on pilgrimage, who was unable to get out of a forest. He was a beautiful ghost. Because he had upheld the precepts. If you would like to become beautiful, then uphold the precepts. You'll need no makeup. Additional beauty is not truly beautiful, but looks weird. Some people had plastic nose surgery, making their nose look very sharp, as if it could cut a piece of paper. It looks strange. Upholding the precepts will make you attain a beautiful form, even being born as a hungry ghost. That monk was so beautiful. He still wore the monk's 3-piece yellow robe. But why would someone who had practiced mindfulness that much become a ghost? It was the result of his final mind. When he got lost in the woods and hungry, he was unable to get out of the woods and passed away while his mind was greedy for food. Soon he died from hunger. His demerit led him to be born in the hungry ghost realm. Actually, the correct one is in the state of becoming a hungry ghost, not in the realm. The state of becoming a hungry ghost is in the realms of suffering. However, his merit from upholding the precepts also bore fruit, leading him to become a hungry ghost, looking so beautiful like an angel. The person who saw him shared merit and loving compassion with him, but he couldn't receive it. Usually the sharer and receiver need to be related in the past, such as being a parent and child, relatives, or close friends, as their minds are connected. When one makes merit and thinks of the other, the latter can receive them. However, for ones who are not close enough won't be able to receive shared merit. This is the terrifying nature of the round of rebirth. If we don't cultivate merit, only waiting for others to share their merit will be so piteous. They might share theirs, but we won't be able to receive them. If we are unrelated to them, when we share ours from making a donation or good deeds, it is not always the case that the target receiver can receive merit from us. Most targets cannot receive the merit because of various conditions. The sharers and targets must be parents, children, family members, close relatives or friends. The receivers must be born in the hungry ghost realm. Yet not all of the 10 types of hungry ghosts can receive shared merit. The only type of hungry ghost who can receive them are very much human-like. Their way of living is similar to humans. That's why they can receive the merit. On the contrary, other types of hungry ghosts, animals, creatures in hell, and demons, cannot receive shared merit. Neither can humans. For example, if someone thinks of us when they make merit, wishing that we also attain the merit they make. Or if we make merit and pour water of dedication for our living parents, they won't receive the merit. The only way for humans to attain shared merit is by being informed of and rejoicing in our good deeds. They attain the merit because of their delight with someone else's merit. Similarly, we don't need to share our merit with the divine beings. Just think of them and ask them to rejoice with our merit. If they do, they will attain the merit. They gain those by themselves, from being delighted with ours. So it's not that we give our merit to them. It's like we tell our parents that we have done good deeds. If they are good people, they will be delighted with us being good. When they are full of joy for us, happy with us, that's called rejoicing in others' goodness. Being delighted with someone's good deeds results in them attaining merit, which they themselves cultivate. We must be able to differentiate, though. If our parents don't feel like doing something for others and are very stingy, when we show them that we buy a lot of things to offer monks and ask them to rejoice with our merit, they might act so without complaining but mutter to themselves that we are absurd for being uneconomical. In this case, they won't attain the merit because their minds are vicious. I meant to say that we should cultivate our own merit without expecting someone to share theirs with us. If we wait for someone else's merit, chances are we can hardly receive them. That's why it's much safer for us to cultivate our own merit. Chonburi is full of corpses. As people tend to bury bodies and pay a visit to the cemetery yearly, they burn joss paper upon their visits. The dead must have choked on the smoke. The visitors also light firecrackers, which probably startles them. The family of the dead tries to make merit for them, believing that their approach is a good deed. It is a good deed, though doing it their own way. As dutiful descendants results in only a little merit. Whether the dead will actually benefit from it is another story. The dead probably don't want joss paper, as having abundant spirit money would result in inflation, which is not beneficial for them. 1 million joss paper is also available. Burning it serves no purpose. It's a waste of resources. If you want to make merit for your parents, you'd better do good deeds. The dead are piteous. Most of them don't remain at their cemetery though. After death, they are born in new forms. Those who are strongly attached to their bodies, even after their death, will be born as hungry ghosts or demons guarding their bodies. They wait for the annual visits from others, is offering something to the dead, a form of making merit, yes, as dutiful descendants. However, the merit is not much, because the offering is not made to the field of merit. The true field of merit is the Lord Buddha's enlightened monks, who practice well, practice correctly, and practice as the means of liberation from suffering. They are called well-practicing monks. They have qualities of worthiness. When we visit them, We can bring offerings such as food, or when they pass by our house, we can offer food, or make merit with them, such as offering to monks and dedicating the merit to the deceased. Another thing is that well-practicing monks are worthy of reverence. If we have nothing to offer them, don't be alarmed. Just press your hands together and bow in respect, as they are worthy of reverence. Our gesture results in great merit. We make merit with those who are the true source of merit. There is no greater merit anywhere else in the world. The Lord Buddha said, "Now, we don't know which monks are real and which are fake. Fake ones include shameless monks, who do wrong without remorse, and sham monks, who dress like monks, but teach different doctrines unrelated to the teachings of the Lord Buddha." Liberate is not a derogatory term. It means riverbanks. Typically ones that are different from the Lord Buddha's riverbank. People are free to board a boat at their preferred riverbank, without one blaming another. As we have a chance, we should try to cultivate good deeds on our own. Giving alms, for example, but don't cause yourselves troubles. What is above giving alms and should be done is to uphold the precepts. Maintain them well, so that you'll have the chance to be reborn as a human. Or, if your mind is more virtuous, you won't dare to break the precepts or commit any evil, because you feel shameful doing so. A mind like this is far more virtuous than those that suppress themselves not to break the precepts. If we are ashamed to break the precepts, it means we have bashfulness. If we see suffering and harm that comes from breaking the precepts, that means we have moral dread. Bashfulness and moral dread are called the divine's precepts, which are higher than upholding the 5 precepts. We are used to chanting Moyong Pante, Visung Visung Rakanataya. Don't forget Visung Visung, so that if we ask for the 5 precepts and miss one, we still have the precepts, but without Visung Visung. If we miss even one precept, the whole 5 are considered broken. Try to maintain at least some of the precepts. The precepts are not something to ask from others. They are all up to your intention to refrain, called intention of abstinence. It is the intention to refrain from committing the 5 immoral acts which harm oneself and others. For example, when we drink alcohol, we harm ourselves severely. It damages our mindfulness and awareness. Encouraging others to drink alcohol is a sin, not merit. It's an act that persuades someone to do bad deeds. Don't treat anyone with alcohol. If you drink alone, only you are evil. Don't drag someone else into this. Initially, we intend to refrain from breaking the precepts. Then we try to uphold them, resisting the force of defilements. As we keep doing this, we'll feel shameful when thinking of breaking the precepts. Like, oh, I've upheld the precepts well for a period of time. How dare I break them? When we feel shameful, it means we already have bashfulness. For us who practice mindfulness, we can observe ourselves. When breaking the precepts, or even when doing something against the dharma, the mind will receive bad consequences. If we practice mindfulness, we'll see these consequences, allowing bashfulness and moral dread to arise easily. Moral dread means fear of consequences from bad deeds. Some actions are not considered breaking the precepts, such as a pair of spouses having intimate relations with each other. Though it's not wrong according to the 5 precepts, but it's against the dharma. Why is that so? Well, if we do so, an existing demerit will arise. Already existing ones will arise more quickly and become stronger. Some people give in to defilements, having an affair with different partners. Though at first they might not be so willing to do so, they will later give in. This led to demerit thriving, which is against the dharma. We'll see that even an intimate relationship with our own spouse, if we observe our mind, will later on cause the mind to wander off easily. We have been diligently practicing well. But once we indulge in sensual pleasures, the mind becomes distracted. We immediately see suffering and harm from it. The precepts are not violated, as the act of intimacy is shared with our spouse. However, it is against the dharma in terms of causing the rise of inexisting demerit and empowering the existing ones. As a result, if we want the dharma for living in this world, the 5 precepts are enough. On the other hand, if you want something higher, then you will need the 5 dharma. You can Google the word for more explanation. We only know the 5 precepts, but not the 5 dharma. If we also possess the 5 dharma, which most people don't, we are likely to become divine beings in the next life. The reason is that we develop a stronger version to even trivial demerit. If we practice mindfulness, and our minds are tranquil staying with an object of its liking, the minds are shifted higher than the divine beings. We are already divine beings, then we'll become the higher ones. There are 6 levels of heaven altogether. The 5th one is called the delightful conjurer. The divine beings there enjoy conjuring things. The 6th one is called the lords of others' creations. The divine beings on the 6th level don't conjure things on their own, whenever they need something. The divine beings from the 5th level will conjure for them. This is not my own knowledge. I heard this from a master. I didn't see this recorded in the 3 baskets, either. Consider it as just a way to broaden your knowledge. Don't take it too seriously. He said that for those who have attained form jhana and can enter it, if they do not die in form jhana, they will be reborn as divine beings in the 5th heaven. As they enjoy form, they love to create forms, objects and things. They derive happiness from conjuring them. On the other hand, the divine beings in the 6th heaven had previously attained formless jhana. They are not skilled in creating forms. If they do not die while entering the formless jhana, they will be reborn in the 6th heaven. The beings in the 5th heaven conjure things for them. The divine beings experience great happiness, live long lives in beautiful forms without sickness, and have plenty of wealth. All of these are the results of their merit. However, As time passes to their final moment, they begin to experience sickness. Their sickness is marked by their aura becoming dull, sweat appearing on their bodies, and their once radiant light becoming darkened. The divine beings are ranked by their aura. Those with a stronger aura have higher status, while those with a weaker aura must show respect to those with a stronger one. For us who practice mindfulness, if we know how to observe, we can see that our own minds also have an aura. For example, Sylvans have a weaker aura, similar to that of stars. The higher the divine beings, the greater the brightness of their aura. The aura of the great divine beings who came to listen to the Lord Buddha's teachings was so bright that it illuminated the entire temple. They are categorized based on this aura. When a divine being is about to die, their aura starts to dim down. It is a signal of aging, sickness, and eventual death. After death, they may descend into hell, become an animal, a ghost, or a demon, or even be reborn as a human. Some may be reborn as divine beings again. If they can enter jhana, they may be reborn as sublime beings. Therefore, sensual pleasure and worldly good deeds, like making merit by offering food to monks or upholding precepts, bring us happiness and can lead us to being reborn as a human or a divine being. However, this happiness is not lasting, but eventually fades. We need to improve ourselves further. If upholding precepts alone is not enough, we must also practice meditation. Choose one form of meditation, one object of meditation. When we need to rest, we bring the mind to that meditation object. For example, breath mindfulness can be practiced up to the fourth form jhana. Similarly, contemplation of the body can also lead to the fourth form jhana, such as hair, skin, nails, teeth, and skin. If we chant Buddho or any other mantra, we may reach up to the near deep concentration level, but not yet jhana. Each type of meditation will bring different levels of attainment. If we cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and rejoicing with someone's good deeds, we can attain formless jhana and be reborn as a formless sublime being. If we reach equanimity, that's even better. Why do sublime beings need to cultivate the divine abodes? Well, they have nothing to do, nothing to occupy their time. Humans are super tiny to them. Even a whole galaxy is like just a little star to them. Given the immense size of a sublime being, everything seems too tiny to see. So, they simply sit and radiate loving kindness, not knowing what else to do. They keep doing so until their merit runs out, until their jhana energy fades. Then they fall down to lower realms again. They might be reborn in hell, or other realms of suffering, or as humans, as divine beings, or even return to sublime beings. This is the terrifying aspect of the round of rebirth. Even if we can enter absorption at a certain level, it still fades. We can't escape aging, sickness, and death. Now, how can we be free from aging, sickness, and death? The answer is we must be free from attachment to all form and formless phenomena. If we are still attached to forms, we will remain caught in sensual pleasures, or at best attain the form jhana. Stuck in the realm of form. If we are still attached to our mind, we may reach up to the formless jhanas. Therefore, as long as we are still attached to the body and mind, we can't escape the cycle of rebirth. We need to completely lose attachment to the body and mind in order to break free. The world is made up of sentient beings. It consists of form and formless segregates. Sentient beings are simply form and formless segregates. Thus, for the mind to be free from the world, free from the realm of beings, it must let go of attachment to form and formless segregates. If we still cling to the body, we remain attached to sensual pleasures or to the form jhana. If we cling to the mind, we may still get trapped in the formless jhana. How can we stop clinging to form and formless segregates? We must see their truth. The truth of the body and the mind. That they are not something precious. The body is full of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. It is not controllable. It is just an element. The body is merely a collection of elements in constant flux, with elements flowing in and out. When we see this clearly with mindfulness and awareness of the body, and our minds become knowing, awakened and delighted, we can perceive the truth of the body. It consists of nothing but impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Once these are clearly perceived, the mind will no longer cling to the body. We then continue with our mindfulness practice. As we have let go of attachment to the body, the final work is to turn inward to observe the mind. The mind, too, falls under the three characteristics of existence, which are impermanence, suffering, and non-self. It's very easy to see the impermanence of the mind, because it changes so rapidly. It's also easy to see that the mind is not self, because we can't control it. Whether the mind becomes knowing or absent, minded is not something we can choose. Whether the mind becomes knowing or thinking is not something we can choose. Whether the mind is knowing or overly fixated is not something we can choose either. We cannot force or control it. This is how we see the non-self nature of the mind. One day, when we realize the truth, that the mind is suffering, suffering because it is impermanent, suffering because it is suppressed, suffering because it is beyond our control, then the mind will let go of itself. When we can let go of both the body and mind, there's nothing left to cling to. If we can let go of the mind, that's the end of our journey. The study of Buddhism ends at the mind. When we let go of the mind, it's complete. Luangpu Pramote taught me on September 24, 1983. He said, "Remember this. Why did he tell me so? It's because my practice had not yet reached that level. Remember this. When you see the knower, destroy the knower. When you see the mind, destroy the mind. Only then will you reach true purity. Do you understand?" I said I didn't understand, but would remember it. Luangpu Pramote then said, "All right, remember it well." The following day, when I came down to pay respect to Luangpu Pramote, he then explained further. He said that destroying the mind means to see its three characteristics of existence, not to directly make it explode or disappear. The knower mind is not easy to develop. It requires intense practice. People in general don't have the knower mind, but the wanderer mind. To develop a knower mind, we must choose an object of meditation and become aware of the mind repeatedly. Eventually, we will cultivate the knower mind. This knower mind is the final thing that we must let go of. The knower mind is like a boat. When crossing an ocean, we rely on the boat. But when we reach the shore, we must abandon the boat and leap off it. If we continue to cling to the boat and don't let go, we won't reach the shore. That's why the ultimate practice is to let go of the mind and not cling to it. If we don't cling to form segregate, we won't suffer from it. If we don't cling to formless segregate and the mind, we will no longer suffer from the mind. Among phenomena, what's called the ultimate realities consist of four things: mind, mental concomitants, form and nirvana. The mind and mental concomitants always arise together. The mind is the knower of sensations, while mental concomitants refer to phenomena that accompany the mind. These phenomena cause the mind to fluctuate and transform to a good mind, bad mind, happy mind, or suffering mind. The good, bad, happy, suffering are called mental concomitants. They are phenomena. People in general are attached to happiness and dislike suffering. This is still very rough because they are attached to mental concomitants, or to form, to the body. They want the body to be beautiful. They can't accept grey hair, so they try to make it not grey. If their skin sags, they seek ways to tighten it up, like using injections or so. This is attachment to form. However, when we practice until we see the true nature of form, the true nature of mental concomitants, we realize that all things come and go. Happiness, suffering, good and bad arise and dissipate. Ultimately, we will see the true nature of the mind itself. The mind, too, falls under the three characteristics of existence. When we see the truth of the mind, mental concomitants and form, we will be able to let go of attachment to the mind, the mental concomitants and form. At that point, we will reach the fourth ultimate realities, which is nirvana. Therefore, the ultimate realities, which are the true nature of things, consist of four aspects. The ancients had a mantra known as Jj Runi. This refers to the mind, mental concomitants, form and nirvana. If we clearly understand the true nature of the mind, mental concomitants, and form in aspect of the three characteristics, then we can let go of the mind, mental concomitants, and form. In reality, the form is let go first, but they place the mind first, because it is the grandest, the leader, and the master of all phenomena. That is why the mind is placed first. As long as we can let go of the mind, the rest will be naturally let go. However, if we cannot let go of the mind right away, we can start by observing the body. For example, once we can let go of the body, we will eventually let go of mental concomitants, and the mind will be next. When we let go of the mind, mental concomitants, and form, the mind will automatically experience nirvana. Therefore, our task is to learn the truth of our own body and mind. Our mind consists of the mind and mental concomitants. These include the mind and all thoughts and emotions. Greed, anger, and delusion are mental concomitants. So faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom are mental concomitants. The mind cannot exist alone. It always arises together with mental concomitants. If we can let go of the mind, mental concomitants will be let go of automatically. Form is let go of first, because it is rougher and more easily perceived as suffering. If we can let go of both form and formless phenomena, or the mind, mental concomitants, and form, then there is no need to long for nirvana. Nirvana is already present, has never been inadequate, and is fully complete within itself. It is right before our eyes, but we can't see it, because it is obscured by mental toxication. So keep practicing. When you have a chance, give alms, but do it appropriately. Giving alms doesn't always have to involve money. For example, if you see a monk planting trees, you can help cut the grass or water the plants. This is how you give alms by physical effort. You can donate your blood. which is a higher form of giving alms, as it involves sacrificing part of your body. Donating an organ or the eyes is also giving alms. These bring much more merit than simply donating a large sum of money. Forgiving others is also a form of giving alms. And it is an even higher form. If we practice mindfulness and understand the dharma, we can pass them on to others, which is called dharma giving, and is the highest form of giving alms. Upholding the precepts doesn't cost money either. As you can see, most forms of giving alms don't involve money. Upholding the precepts does not cost money. It involves making a firm commitment to follow and observe. The precepts are about consciously refraining from doing 5 unwholesome actions. After that, be mindful and observe the mind constantly. If it feels like breaking the precept, be aware that it does. As we begin to see the suffering and harm in breaking the precepts, and feel ashamed of breaking them, that's when the mind has developed higher, akin to the level of the divine beings. Then, we practice concentration. All of these don't have to be done step by step. It's not that we have to give alms first, followed by upholding the precepts, and only then start concentration practice. We can practice all of these things simultaneously. No need to delay. Whenever you have the opportunity to give alms, do it. Whenever you have the chance to uphold the precepts, do it. Whenever you have the opportunity to practice concentration, do it. Concentration can be practiced at all times. It is the state where the mind is upright and aware of the body and mind. Don't waste your time letting the mind wander. Be aware of the body and mind is to have concentration. I attained concentration all day long. When I was a lay person, I was always aware of the movements of the body and the shifts in the mind. The mind was upright, constantly knowing, awakened and delighted. Luangpu Sim, one of the masters, did not know my name. He called me Noah. As a title he gave me, the Noah is not the wanderer, and not the one who concentrates blindly, either. Let people can do this, not that only me can. If we set our minds to it and practice correctly, we can achieve the same result. When we have the right concentration, we'll see the true nature of the mind, mental concomitants, and form. They will no longer be difficult. For example, when we see form, or the body moving, the mind becomes the observer. When we are aware of mental concomitants, such as happiness or suffering, we can see them moving and changing, with the mind observing. The rise and dissipation of wholesome and unwholesome states are also mental concomitants, categorized as mental formation. We observe wholesome and unwholesome states arise, remain, and disappear, with the mind being the observer. You see, the mind is the observer of everything. When practicing contemplation of the body, it is the mind that observes and knows. The mind is upright. When practicing contemplation of feelings, again the mind observes and knows. The mind must be upright. When practicing contemplation of the mind, seeing the fabrication of wholesome or unwholesome states, the mind is the observer. The mind must be upright. You see, the mind is the central factor in every aspect of practice. There must always be the mind. No practice can be done without it. Luangpu Mun said that if we know the mind, we understand the dharma, and that, without knowing the mind, we won't understand the dharma. Therefore, when observing the body, it is the mind that observes. When being aware of the body standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, the mind is the observer. When observing feelings, the mind knows and observes the feelings. When observing sensations, the mind is again the observer, including when wholesome and unwholesome phenomena are fabricated. Everything involves the mind as the central participant. When we observe the body and see its 3 characteristics of existence, once we let go of the body, what remains? Only the mind. If we observe sensations and see their 3 characteristics of existence, once we let go of the sensations, what remains? Only the mind that is the observer. If we observe mental formations of wholesome and unwholesome phenomena, seeing their 3 characteristics of existence will let them go. What remains? The mind being the observer. This is where we turn the stream of our attention back to the mind itself. If we go looking for the mind, even searching through the 3 realms of existence, we won't find it. Luangpu Dun said, if you use the mind to search for the mind, you will never find it, even after an eon. Therefore, keep practicing mindfulness. Once the mind lets go of the body, it reaches the mind. Once it lets lets go of sensations, it reaches the mind. Once it lets go of contemplation of the mind, it reaches the mind. Once it lets go of the contemplation of dharma, it reaches the mind. Reaching the mind means reaching the dharma. I'll stop the sermon for today. On Sundays, the dharma talks tend to be more refined than on Saturdays. On Saturdays, the minds of the audience are usually more unsettled. Now, let's check the homework. Number 1.
Number 1. I engage in formal meditation by meditating in the morning and evening, 40 minutes each, while listening to your YouTube channel. During the day, I breathe in Bude, breathe out Do as my home base. If my mind gets too restless, I observe the body's movement and non-movement. I still often get distracted and lost for long periods. My temperament tends to be anger and delusion. When my mind isn't distracted, I see what looks like bubbles rising in my chest. Observing the rise and fall of the mind. Is my practice correct?
You're doing it correctly. Keep practicing, and you will start to see things more subtly over time. For example, your mind may wander a little here and there, but your mindfulness will become quicker and won't be gone for a long time. What you're practicing is good. Keep doing it. Do it more. You do it well. So continue your practice. And your mind will gradually improve step by step. Don't be lazy. Make sure you practice every day. It will get better and better. Eventually, it will get to the point of beyond good. However, being good still carries suffering as a good person, but this is a necessary stage in the process. Don't force the mind to be still. Right now, you are subtly trying to hold the mind still. Do you see that? Don't try to shape the mind. Know it as it is. Don't make it good in any particular way. If the mind is vicious, know that it is, and that's fine. If it is virtuous, and you're not aware, trying to hold on to it is no good. You observe the mind well. Good. Keep practicing. Mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom will gradually become stronger. Good job. Number 2.
Number 2. I practice mindfulness of breathing and chant Bude while being aware of the short and long breaths. Some days I focus intensely, and other days I don't behave and become mindless. Occasionally, I find a balance in practicing. When I practice walking meditation, I try to be mindful of the mind's distractions through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and mind. The dominant defilement is anger. Form and taste still affect me strongly. During the day, I try to be aware of the body and unwholesome mind states, anger, and the heaviness in the chest when lust arises. The wisdom that arises tends to be mixed with thinking. I am planning to ordain for a month at a forest temple to confront my defilements. Please give me some guidance.
Be mindful. Mindfulness is the most important thing, no matter whether you're in the forest or at home. Don't allow your mind to sink into that state. Pull it back out. That state is like a bed, where the mind lies down in laziness. Wake the mind up. Don't let it slip into a state of drowsiness. Buddha means the knower, the awakened one, not someone who drifts off. Keep the body active and move it around. When you ordain at a forest temple, you can sweep the temple, do some work, keep your body active with mindfulness. If you meditate too much, it can lead to a trance-like state, like someone addicted to drugs. That's not good. Always stimulate the feeling of awareness. Don't let the mind become drowsy. Move your body and be mindful, so that you can keep going on mindfulness practice. Otherwise, if you go ordain for a month, it will just be a wasted month. You'll develop a habit of sinking into dullness. The previous generations of masters and the newer ones start to show some differences. When I went to study at the forest temples, the masters always emphasized having the knower mind. No matter which teacher I went to, they would all tell me to have the mind that knows. Later on, some masters began emphasizing the use of Budo as the practice. Some of them explained Budo very clearly, like Luangpu Pramote. He said that Budo is the mind. Budo, the mind knows. Budo, the mind is known. Budo is something the mind observes. If you chant Budo and become aware of your own mind, then that means you know how to chant Budo. If you chant Budo over and over and then become drowsy, you won't get to the essence of practice. The essence of practice is to be mindful, not to get lost in a dreamy state. The dharma will slacken gradually. In the old days, if the masters taught something and we couldn't do it, they would stop teaching us further. That's why some people only learned to chant Budo, but didn't understand what the practice truly meant. Chant Budo and be mindful. You must become awakened. Don't let the mind become drowsy. Number 3.
Number 3. In daily life, I am now consistently mindful of the body and mind as they are. I try to remember the teachings. I don't overly focus or let the mind wander. Sometimes I feel the body as something that is known, but I often feel stuck in stillness. The mind is not neutral. May I ask for guidance, please?
You're doing well. Keep practicing. Number 4.
Number 4. I practice mindfulness by reciting prayer, walking meditation, along with observing the body in daily life and watching the frequent arising of anger. I still experience the fluctuation between tranquility and distraction. The mind is not neutral to the phenomena. I think it's because it loves itself so much. Sometimes, I encounter sensations that suppress the mind so heavily. I try to endure and observe them, but still tend to escape from them. May I ask for guidance on how to continue my practice?
Whatever sensation arises, our task is simply to know it. There's no need to try to eliminate anything. If anger arises, just know that it does. If greed arises, just know that it does. If delusion arises, just know that it does. Right now, the mind still loves one thing and hates another. It loves happiness and dislikes suffering. It loves being good and hates being bad, and so on. But if you practice until one day, the mind becomes neutral toward all things. Once the mind is neutral, no matter what arises, the mind will not be shaken or disturbed. Right now, the mind is still easily shaken by whatever it comes into contact with. You've practiced well. Keep going. It is very rare for a Lord Buddha to appear in this world. We were born in his period, so make the most of this opportunity to practice. It's sad for some people who have been practicing well suddenly want to get married. However, that's not as sad as getting married to someone from another religion and having to change their religion to follow their spouse. It's really pitiful to see. A Lord Buddha is so rare. And there are billions of women in this world. How can someone exchange the rare Lord Buddha for just one woman? Their choice is heartbreaking. This is our opportunity. We walk in the footsteps of the Lord Buddha. In the round of rebirth, the times when a Lord Buddha appears are scarce. Some people abandon him because of a woman. Some abandon virtue just to chase after money. These are the people who lost the greatest opportunity. It's truly pitiful. And no one can change their minds. Karma is at play here. If you were to ask me whether I would exchange the Lord Buddha for a Miss Universe, I wouldn't take it. How long can beauty last? It will fade in time. But the Dharma is endlessly beautiful. I'm not talking about beauty number 4 here.
Number 5. After encountering the corruption of insight, I started over from scratch. The problem is, before encountering the corruption of insight, I practiced without really knowing much. So I was able to practice continuously. But now, I find myself holding up and waiting to see phenomena, or trying to figure out the right way to practice. So, I'm trying to practice calmness to strengthen my concentration power and not cultivating wisdom for now. Could you please offer some guidance?
Don't overthink about mindfulness practice. It's easy to say, but hard to do. When you wake up, the mind starts thinking right away of how to meditate today. This happens to everyone, so don't be surprised. I used to experience that as well, in the past. As soon as I woke up, my mind would think of how I should practice that day, or where I should practice today. It happens to everyone. Just know and be aware of it. This is the deceptive construct. The evil one is the distraction. It deceives us, so that we try to fix the distraction. Instead of knowing every phenomenon as it is, we tend to think of what to do to make it good. At first, you just need to do, and then you'll realize that whatever you do, it is wrong. But if you don't do anything, that's even worse, because you won't have the opportunity to improve. If you make a mistake, it's okay, just keep going. Eventually, you'll realize that it's wrong. Once you recognize why it's wrong, then the right way will start to reveal itself. You can't create the correct practice by yourself. Whenever you think of how to make it correct, that's already wrong. It's impossible to make it right because it is non-self. Learn from the mistakes. Eventually, you'll naturally begin to do it right. Number 5. Don't rush. Don't expect quick results. Do it as an offering to the Lord Buddha. Do it every day, just like when we chant, pay respects, or offer flowers to the Lord Buddha. Do it every day, without worrying about what you'll get from it. Just do it because it brings you happiness. Keep practicing and good results will come on its own. Be mindful and uphold the precepts. Number 6.
Number 6. I notice my own flaws more often. I overthink, have negative thoughts, and tend to compare myself with others. I try to be mindful and accumulate awareness, always starting anew. My life is happier than before, and I take better care of myself. I recite prayers and pay respect to the Lord Buddha every day. I do my work and duty better than before, with fewer expectations. I will share more with others and uphold my precepts better. Could you give me some advice, please?
Keep practicing. As for sharing, what do you mean by that? Sharing the dharma or something else? If it's sharing the dharma, it's not yet the time. Practice until you can help yourself first. Your mind is not yet there. You're still trying to shape phenomena. Be aware of your mental fabrications. Don't try to fabricate by yourself. When the mind makes certain fabrications, don't try to refabricate them. In short, don't try to find a way to fix it. Just notice that the mind fabricates. Whether it fabricates good or bad, happiness or suffering, just be aware of it. This takes time to learn. Be patient and learn gradually. Don't fabricate a dreamy state for the mind. Don't make the mind drift off. Number 7.
Number 7. I have been contributing to Luangpu's effort to spread the Dhamma. This year I recite prayers in the morning and evening every day, which has given me more encouragement. Thinking of Luangpu Dun brings me joy. I joined a course at Banjid Sabai, which has helped me become aware of the body and mind regularly, and allows me to have concentration without forcing it. I have started to want good phenomena and happiness, and I can see some pride in thinking that I am able to practice. Can you give me some homework to continue my practice?
It's good that you're aware of your own defilements. Wanting to be good, wanting to be happy, that's all defilements. Wanting to spread the Dharma is a defilement too. Take time to observe. There will be arrogance arising. Learn about yourself. Very good. You've improved a lot. If you have the opportunity, join the course again. Number 8. I'm going to be hard on you.
Number 8. You said that once I'm out of an over-fixing state, I will see suffering. Right now, I see suffering alternating with the emptiness and nothingness of the world. I recognize the suffering, but it doesn't go away. The more I look directly at it, the more suffering it is. I think my mind is not yet neutral. I'll be happy and joyful to increase my strength for practicing. When I do good deeds to honor the Lord Buddha and think of you. When I see the emptiness, is it the truth or not?
Yes, you did see it. But this emptiness is false emptiness, not the true emptiness. It is a space. We don't want to obtain it. When the mind enters this space, know that it does. When the mind comes out, know that it does. It is a phenomenon that is equal to other phenomena. This kind of emptiness is impermanent. The emptiness of nirvana, on the other hand, is fully complete. It does not come and go. Good. Keep practicing. When you cook, be mindful. When people praise you, you feel happy. When they criticize, you feel displeased. Read your mind like this. If someone gives you a little tip and you feel annoyed, just be aware of it. Don't try to hold your mind still. Right now, you are trying to make the mind still. Do you feel it? It's more still than it really is. Let it go. Come out of it. How to let go? Just know that the mind is fabricating. Don't fix it. The very effort to fix it is what makes it more wrong. Good. You're doing well. Keep practicing. It's much better than before. Just be mindful. Be aware as much as you can. You don't need to be aware all the time. Being aware all the time becomes over-fixating. When the mind goes off, know that it does. The mind has just gone off again. You see that. Just know it moment by moment. Live in the present. One moment at a time, like that. Don't worry about when things will improve. Don't worry about the future. Just stay in the present, one moment at a time. The bird is chirping. That means the time is up. Go home.